Hello, welcome back. This is my Codeword Sudoku puzzle number 2. I'll just have a quick look at the rules for you. Normal Sudoku rules apply. There is a 9-letter word running either up, down, left or right in the puzzle. The first letter of this word is represented by a 1, the second letter by a 2, etc. Words below are given in the killer cages. Killer cages must sum to the number in the corners. Digits do not repeat in killer cages, so normal killer cages rules are like that. Now the words here are chant, chart, charms, etc. Now those words, I'll just go back to the puzzle, those words have to go into these cages depending on the number of letters they have, and we have to figure out which word goes with which number. There's a 9-letter code word which goes, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in the puzzle. So we know somewhere in this puzzle is a 1 to 9. Going back to the rules again. So first of all, we need to figure out the code word, and that will tell us where these words go in the puzzle, into which cages. The code word, if the first letter of the code word is represented by a 1, if the first letter was a C, then C would be a 1, and that would tell us where these words go in the cages. So first of all, I'll make my notepad a bit bigger and show you how I worked out the code word. Now the code word obviously has to be made up of all the letters in these words here. So we have a little bit of room up the top. We have C, H, A, N, T, and now the next one has an R, and then there's an M, and what else is there, an S, and an E. So that's the 9 letters. So how do we figure out what is what? The code word, you can just figure it out relatively easily. Actually, that's a fairly easy one to work out. You can almost see it straight away. But if you want a bit of logical help with it, I'll just put up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and see if we can do it a bit more logically rather than just rearranging the letters. So I'll just write down the big words first of all. So we've got chant, chart, charm, main, whoops, that's an M, believe it or not. I'll try that again. Charm, mains, and they're all the 5-letter ones, and then charms is 6 letters. Now they have to correspond with the 5-letter ones in here. So what do we have that's 5 letters? There's a 30, there's a 26, there's a 19, and there's a 25. So I'll write those down in order. So there's a 19, a 25, a 26, and a 30. Now charms is the only one that's a 6-letter word, so it has to go in this 6-letter box here. So that means we know that charms is 28. So we know that one. I'll go back and look at the little words. We've got mat. No, sorry, not mat. Oh, there is a mat, but I'll man first. Man, him, 10 sat mat. 10 sat mat. Now, what can we get from that? Not a heck of a lot, but we can get, if we know that charms is 28, the only other 3 letters left there are T, E and N. And we know that the total number of the Sudoku boxes has to add up to 45, because 1 to 9 adds up to 45. So that tells us that T, E, N, which is left over, 45 take away 28, is 17. So that gives us 10 and 17. Now, what else can we get from that? Now, these don't actually correspond next to each other, but so we've got to match up which one goes with which. Now, looking at charm and charms, these two, obviously there's only an S different. So charm can't be 30 because charms is an S more, and it's 28. So charm has to be that one, or that one. So that tells us that the S takes it from 19 to 28, or 25 to 28, or 26 to 28. So that says that the S has to equal, if it's 19, it's a 9. If it's 25, it would be a 3. And if it's 26, it would be a 2. So that tells us the S has to go either there, there, or there. So that's a bit of a start. I'd like the look of the S at the end rather than there at the start, but you never know. So how can we eliminate that a little bit more? It's a bit tricky. We have to have, now looking back at the 3-letter words, we have to have a word that adds up to 8. So the only way to get an 8 with 3 numbers is we can have 1, 2, that's, oops, 1 and 2, oh, 1 and 2 is 3 and 5 makes 8. We can have 1 and 3 and 4. I don't need any other combinations because if you have 1 and 4, that's 5 and 3, that's the same thing. 2 and 3 is 5, plus 3 is 8, you can't have a double 3. 2 and 4 is 6, plus 2 would be a double 8, double 2. So I think they're the only combinations you can have for 8 in this. So that tells us that these numbers in here are 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 anyway. The 23 up here, actually, that has to be, the only way you can get 23, 24 is 7, 8, 9. So 23 has to be 6, 8, 9, doesn't it? It's the only way you can get 23. So that also tells us 6, 8, 9, that those 3 letters there, excuse me, are one of these 3-letter words as well. So let's get rid of that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 3, 4. So there's a 3-letter word there or there. There's another one there at the end. Can we tell where they go though? Not very well. If there's an, however, if this tells us there has to be an S here, I'll just put that in. There has to be an S there, there, or there. So if there was an S there, that would have to, if there was an S in this first spot, that would have to be, if that was 1, 2, 5, the S would have to go here, wouldn't it? And therefore we'd have to have, the only 3-letter word with an S is sat. So if the S went there, we'd have to have an A and a T there and there, or a T and an A. The T, we couldn't have TS, so it would have to be AS something T. And I really don't like the look of that, to be honest. The thing with this is there's only 2 vowels. So the vowels really have to be spread out. There's sort of nothing, you can't put 3 letters in there between those without having a vowel. So I don't think the S can go there. If the S went in this spot, then you would have to have 1, 3, 4, which was this combination up here, 1, 3, 4, which means you would have to have the A and the T here and here, or TA there and there. Now once again, there's not much you can put before the S. Between a T and an S, really all you can have is another vowel. So you'd have to have an E, and then there's no vowels up here, which was not really possible in a word. And then if it was A something, so that can't be. If it was A, oops, if I had the S there, if it was A something ST, it really doesn't look good for a word, does it? Oops, that's an H. So I really don't think the S can be there. I think the S has to be at the end based on that logic. So we'll try the S at the end and see what that gives us. So if the S is there, that means sat has to be this 6, 8, 9 word at the end. So that means the A and the T has to go there and there. It's probably more likely it ends in TS than AS, isn't it? So that's probably likely that it goes there. It would end in ARTS or ANTS. And from that, what can we get now? MAT M-A-T, we can get mat. So if I'll put the numbers under here now, actually. If that's a 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So mat has to be 6 and 8 is 14. Oh, now what do all these little ones add up to? Whoops, I'm here. So the little ones can be, there was an 8, there's a 14, the 3-letter words I'm talking about when I say little ones. There's a 15, there's a 17, oh we already know that one's 10, so that one's not mat. And what else is there? There's got to be another one there somewhere. Got 8, 14, 15, 17, and the 23. Okay, so we've assumed that 23 is sat, so it has to be one of these three. So we've got 8 and 6 is 14, so the only one it could be is 15, so that means the M would have to be a 1. And then we can go from there, look at some of the other ones. I'll leave those numbers there in case we need them. So MAN would now be 1 and 6 is 7. So the N would have to be, I've used that one, I've used that one. The N would have to be, it couldn't be another 1, it would have to be a 7 to add up to 14. So it ends in ANTS. This is looking fairly good, isn't it? And now we can use some other letters, other words, hopefully. HEM, can we use that? No, we don't have a H or an E yet. But I've used that one. So that tells us that the 8, now the 8 has to have an M in it now, doesn't it? So it has to be one of these two. And it's obviously not man, so it has to be him. And it has to be 1, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 5. Now it's likely after an M you really have to have another vowel, don't you? You couldn't have anything else. So that would have to be the other vowel. That has to be the E. So 1 and 2 is 3, and we need a 5 to be 8. So that would have to be the H from him. And obviously you can see it from there. There's probably another logical thing that you can work out simply with one of the letters, but what else have we got? We're looking for an R or a C. There's none in the 3-letter words, but if we look at C-H-A-R-T, for example, so you have to have H-A is 11. Oh, that would give you the C and the R. No, that's just going to tell you that up to 7. We need one without both of them. Look at chant. So H-A-N-T adds up to 11 and 7, and 11 and 15 is 26. So chant obviously has to be the 30, so it has to be a 4. So the R. Is that right? No, I got that up wrong. Chant. No, the C. Yeah, that's right. So the C has to be the 4. That works. And so obviously the code word is merchants. Now that was a lot of stuffing around, but you probably could have got that code word quite easily because, I mean, you had the word chance there right at the start and there was only an MER left. So it was a fairly easy code word to get anyway, but if you needed a bit of help, that's sort of one logical way to do it. So I'll just get rid of all that scribbling now. And I'll just write down merchants and the numbers next to it. M-E-R-C-H-A-N-T-S. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I can make that a bit bigger now. Oh, whoops. And I'll move that across a bit to make the Sudoku a bit bigger now. There we go. And now we can put all these words, I'll just go back to these words, into the Sudoku. So now we know chant is C, I didn't my pen come across there. Oh, no, there we go. Make it a bit bigger. Back to my pen. I don't want a blue pen, I want a black pen. Chant is C-H-A-N-T. So chant is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that adds up to, what does that add up to? 9, 15, and 15. That adds up to 30. So that tells us that the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 goes in here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And go through and do that with all the other words. Chart, C-H-A-R-T is 7, 12, 18, 26. So chart goes in this one. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 in that one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Get rid of those. Next one is charm. C-H-A-R-M is there. So that is 4, 8, and 11 is 19. So that goes in here. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next one is charms, or we know that one has to go in here. So that is, charms is 4, 5, 6, C, oops, back, get rid of that. 4, 5, 6, RMS, 4, 5, 6, 1, 3, 9, 1, 3, 9. Don't want to muck these up or I'll ruin the whole Sudoku. Mains is I'll get my pen. M-A-N-E-S is 1, 2, 6, 7, 9, and that has to go. Assume that adds up to 25. I'll just check. 1, 3, 6 is 9, and 7 is 16, and 9 is 25. Yep. So that one goes in here. So that one is 1, 2, 6, 7, 9. There's those ones. Now put some of the little ones in. Came, C-A, I keep doing that, C-A-M-E is 1, 2, 4, 6, that goes in 3, 13 spot. And that goes in here. 1, 2, 4, 6, 1, 2, 4, 6. What have we got now? Cent, C-E-N-T, 2, 4, 7, 8. There's only one other box of 4, so that's got to go in there. 2, 4, 7, 8. 15, 16, 17, and 4, 21. Yep, that adds up. Good. Now, M-A-N is 1, 6, 7, and it's up to 14. It goes in that one. 1, 6, 7. The 15 would be, oh, we don't know yet, we'll just check out H-E-M, H-E-M is 8, I've got that one already, haven't I? Oh no, I did put them all in there, but we don't need all of them, it's only 1, 2, 5, so we don't need the 3 and the 4 in there. And then the 10, whoops, where's the 10? I think did I put that in already? T-N? No, maybe I didn't. T-E-N is 15, it's a 17, that's this one. 287. And Sat was the one I put in, which was the 689. And then we've got Matt is M-A-T is 168, adds up to 15. Alright, and we should be able to eliminate quite a few things now. We don't need this code word anymore, do we? Because all the cages are filled in. So I'll get rid of that and make the Sudoku a bit bigger. So now we just have to do the Sudoku. So what can we eliminate from that? A 2, 7, 8 means we can't have another 2, 7 or 8 there. Well, there isn't one anyway. We can't have one there. There isn't one anyway. Oh dear, I hope this is going to be more helpful than this. 1, 6, 7 means you can't have a 6 there or a 6 there. What else do we have? 1, 2, 6, 7, 9. That doesn't do much. Am I missing something obvious? 2, 4, 7, 8. Quadruple there means you can't have an 8. Oops, you can't have an 8 in that one. Is that all we're going to get? Surely not. There has to be, these numbers here means that one's not a 9. That's not that greatly helpful, is it? Looking back at the rules, oh, there's a 9-letter word. We have to remember there's a 9-letter word running somewhere. Oh, that'll give us heaps of things. Okay, so we've got to find the 9-letter word. So it's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've just got to look everywhere. It can't be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It could be there. I'll just put a colour in. Could go across there. 1, 2. Oh, 1. Yes, it can go there. 1. I can't go here actually. 1. I was just going to say it can, but it can't because you've already got a 1 there, so it can't go in that spot there. Can't have a 1 there. 1, 2, 3. No, we'd have to have a 3 in that box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's going to have another 6. 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. So that's the only spot it can go that way. Let's just check backwards. 1, 2. No. 1, 2. No. 1, 2, 3. No. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. That's going to be another 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. That works. 5. No. So it can't go backwards. Can it go down? 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1. No. 1. No. 1. No. 1, 2. No. 1, 2. No. 1, 2. No. 1, 1. No. Can't go down. Can it go up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. 1, 2. Nope. 1, 2. Nope. 2, 3, 4. Nope. 1, 2. No. 1, 2. No. 2, 3. Nope. 1. No. 1, 2, 3. No. There we go. So that's the only spot it can go. So that's going to be, oops, this is going to be where the code word goes across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now that's going to eliminate, see all those red markers? They're all eliminated now, so that makes life much easier. I've left the conflict checker on just to make this a bit easier instead of searching for all the things that conflict. So that one is an 8. It'll also tell me if I make a silly mistake somewhere and saves me doing the whole thing again. I'll just get rid of all these red numbers now. 7, 8, 5, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 8, 4, 8. Get rid of those 5s, get rid of the 5, 6. All those 1s are gone, 2's gone, that 3's gone, those 2's are gone. There we go. Now, hopefully we can get something now. Now, this box here, we can get the what's left over in here. Has to be, there's a 1, there's not a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's not a 7, is there? So that's got to be a 2, 7 pair there. Do we have some other pairs that we can look at? Surely there is, yes, there's a 6, 9 pair. That tells us that can't be a 6. Where's some other pairs of things? Anywhere? Anywhere at all? No, can't see any obvious ones. Ah, that 1, 6, 7, that can't be a 1. I must have missed that before. Oops, can't be a 1. No, it is a 1. Can't be a 1. 2, 7, 8 doesn't wipe out anything. Oh, it still wasn't hugely helpful. It did help a little bit. Where to go from here? There's got to be something I'm missing. 2, 7, 6, 1, 9. You can't tell where they go yet. 4, 7, 8. Is there anything there? No. 2, 4, no. Can we tell what goes in there somehow? 4, 6, 7, 4, 6, 5. No. There'll be something. Oh, there's something I'm missing. Obviously, there's a 6 there. Silly me. Didn't see that. So that's not a 6. That's not a 1. Not an 8. Not an 8. Not a 6. Not a 1. And that 1 has told us that this one has to be a 1 because we can't have another 1 in that box. So that's not a 1. Not a 1 there. Not a 1 there. What now? 2, 6. Does that give us anything else in here? 2, 6, 7, 9. So that's a group of 4. So they have to go 2, 6, 7, 9. So that means we can't have a 6 there. 2, 4, 6, 4, 5. Now there's too many things there. 3, 4, 6 is no, it doesn't tell us anything there. What about this column? There's a 2, 7 pair. That can't be a 7, which means we've got a 1, 6 pair. So that's the 7. And that's not a 7. 1, 6 pair means that's not a 6. 3, 4. That doesn't still tell us these ones, does it? Oh no, that doesn't tell me anything there. I can get what's left up in this 4, 5 pair tells me that one's a 6. This is left up here, 2, 7, 1, 3, 9. That could be anything, couldn't it, at this stage? What about just a bit of normal Sudoku? There's a 1, 1, so that's got to be a 1. That tells us this one has to be a 6. That's a 1. That's a 1. I mean, not a 1, sorry. Not a 1, not a 6, not a 6. That gives this cage here, that one has to be the 1, the only spot for it. 3, 4, oh, then we've got a 3, 4, 5, triple in that cage. That one has to be the 6. And then that's not a 6. Anything else? What else have we got? Might put these 3 in here. What's left to go in here? 1, 2, and 3 have to go there. 1, 2, 3. That one's not the 1. Did that help at all? Not really. 1, 2, 3. No, it didn't give us anything this way, did it? 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 7. Oh, that can't be a 9. We've got a 6, 9 pair there. Oops, can't be a 9, you idiot. Not it is a 9. Go back to that one. Can't be a 9. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 7. So that one has to be a 1, 2, 3, or 7. It can't be 1, 2, 3. The only thing it can be is a 7. So that tells us that's a 2. That's a 7. That's a 2. Not a 7 over there. And these 2 here now are 1, 2, 3. It's got to be a 4 and an 8 missing there. That one's got to be the 4 and that one's got to be the 8. Now there's not an 8 there. We've got, that means the 8 has to go here, but we don't know where at this stage. Any other normally Sudoku-y things at all? 1, 1, 1. What about all those ones? Can I resolve that? Whoops. No, I don't want to share you with anybody. The one in this column can't go there, and that has to be there. Oh no, it could be there. It has to go there or there, doesn't it? In which case that one could go there or there, so we don't know that yet. The 9 could go in either. That is the middle one, 2, 7, 8. 3, 4, 6. What else is missing? There's got to be a 9 in there, doesn't there? Somewhere, don't know where. Oh, 2, 9 pair over here now. That's not a 9. That's not a 9. And that's not a 2, so that gives us a 6, 7 pair. So left in here now is a 4 and a 5 and what's the other number? 3. So the 3 can't go there. The 3 has to go there. And that's got to be a 4, 5 pair, and that's not a 3. Just looking at that cage there, I just noticed the 8 can only go here. And then we're left with 3, 4, 5, 6. There's still got to be a 9 there, that doesn't help with that. We've got a 4, 5 pair here though, that eliminates the 4s there. So that's a 2, that's a 7, not a 7. And that's now a 6, and that's a 7. That one over here is not a 6, and that's not a 7. We should be able to, oh, we'll just get another red one up there. 6 and 9, that'll give us this number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's got to be a 9. Is there anything missing out of that column? And then here, we're missing 1, 2, 3, and a 5. Can't tell what they are just yet. However, that gives us a 3, 4, 5 tripler on here. Might be useful. One that leaves these 3 is pretty too many because we still haven't resolved the 4, 8 there, have we? Might need to put them in though if there's nothing else. There's something obvious that I'm missing. Oh yes, there's a 2, 4 pair there. That can't be 2, 4. So that one has to be a 6. That one has to be a 1. Get rid of that 6. 3, 4, we've got a 3, 4, 5 triple there. And that leaves 2, 7, 9 to go in there. Another 7. Got a 2, 4 pair there, so the 2 can't be a 2. So that can't be a 2 or a 9. Now that one's got to be the 7. That's a 2, an 8, 7. Not a 1. 2, 3 pair means that one's not a 3, so that's a 9. That one's a 9, it's not a 3, that's a 1. That's a 3, a 1. What can we do now? That one's not a 3, another red dot there, another red number, I mean. 2, 3, 4, 5, no, that's too many. I could put these 3 in, I suppose. See if that helps. Oh, I could just do a normal Sudoku. Actually, looking at those 7s there, there's a 7 missing down here. Oops, what did I do then? 7 missing down there. Probably do just a bit of normal Sudoku from here on in and get a few things, perhaps. So I got all the 1s, I think I do, yes. What about the 6? Actually, let's look at the 9s. Oh, stop doing that, I don't want to download it. We have to, can't have a 9 there or a 9 there, that's got to be a 9. Every time I hold it down it does that. So this box here, the only spot there's a 9 for a 9 is there. Is that all the 9s? If I hold it down to get the thing, every time it does it, brings up that question. And the only spot there now is a 9. And so that resolves this one, a 2 and a 9, 4 and a 2, 5, 4. This is resolving a few things. 5, 3, 2, 5, 4. These two are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 5 and an 8 left there. The 8 has to go there and the 5 there. Another 5. That tells us this one is a 2. Anything left in that box? There's a 4 over here. 3, 4, 5. 5, 3. And 1 that's a 2. 1, 2, we need a 3 and a, what's another 1, 2, 3, a 4 is it? Yes, a 4 missing there. This box is missing a 1, 2, 3, another 4. This row here is missing 1, 2, 3, an 8, looks like. And now we need a 3, which has to go there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which has to go there. And we're done. So, I hope you enjoyed that one. It was a little bit trickier getting the code word at the start of that one. There wasn't an obvious logical solution, but it was a bit of help still having those words and the cages at the start to help get the code word. I hope it wasn't too difficult and you enjoyed it, and come back for some more. See you next time.